Good morning, everyone. It's nice to connect with all of you. The reason I've started doing this only for people who are consulting with us right now. As I continue to go through plans that your nutritionists pass through me, as I continue to look at some of the coaching groups, there's a lot that I keep learning. I want to share these learnings with everyone. Today, people on the call have different conditions. Some of you have come to us with certain conditions that require recovery. Some of you have inflammation. Some of you have issues with your sugar levels. Some of you have emotional issues. It's all different, but it comes under one banner of wellness. Today, I'm going to use the next couple of minutes to actually share with you what we're seeing that works and what we're seeing are obstacles in us getting better. So you may just want to listen, reflect, see if there are things that you can do differently, things that you can maybe change, or maybe everything's just going well for you right now. I also want to spend a little more time on the emotional part today. I know I do several videos which team members share with you on how to reduce your anxiety, new techniques, but I will go over that on today's call as well, because we need to understand today as I speak to all of you, and as I speak to any patient that I have lined up right after my session with you, okay, 98% of the problems start with the environment that we create within us. That's our thinking, our fear, anxiety. We may have access, and a lot of us have access to good food, healthy food. Some people can afford more exotic food. Some of us have access to personal trainers, meditation teachers, and that's all good. But we still have the responsibility that we cannot outsource, and we have to do it on our own, no matter what, creating that internal environment within us. I can tell you right now with conviction that healing and recovery, the boosting of your immune system, the lowering of your inflammation cannot happen if the body is in constant stress, if the body is in constant tension, the mind is in constant tension. And it's not because Luke's saying that. It's simple science, it's medical science. The human body is not designed to heal, repair, grow, rejuvenate, put conditions into remission if we're in the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight and flight, which is stress, constant anxiety. Now, don't get me wrong, day-to-day stress, a few fights with your partners here and there, problems at work, traffic, kids, that's okay. That's not the bad stress. The bad stress is the stress that goes on and on and on. So for example, you wake up in the morning, get your kids to school or homeschooling, and one thing moves to another. Now you can either see this as stress and allow it to create that environment of stress, or you say that this is how my life is going to be. How can I make it better? How can I break it down? Yep, I got to wake up, put my kids to school, X, Y, Z, do all of these things. I have a job. Yes, it's a stressful job. Accept it. What can I do better? The problem is chronic stress. When we're constantly worrying, when we're constantly thinking, or we're dealing with a deeply rooted emotional trauma. When I'm talking about that, it could be a divorce. It could be sometimes all divorces are not bad. Some are happy, some are ugly. Property cases, fights with parents, fights with siblings, fights with partners, toxic relationships, toxic bosses, businesses not doing too well, creating a financial insecurity. These are stresses that stay with you throughout the day and the night and the next day. So you're constantly in the sympathetic nervous system, and I can guarantee you, no matter how much you follow the plan, the food that you're advised to eat, the exercise you do, the body finds it very difficult to recover and heal or lose that extra weight or fat that you're trying to lose if you're in the sympathetic nervous system too long. So the fundamentals that I want to teach you today and encourage you is, yes, you are given a diet, a framework of foods that will change as per your progress, your condition, your medication. It's not everything. It's not the magic wand that is going to take care of your health problems. Yes, you may be advised on certain exercises to do and what not to do. Not your magic wand again. You all know the philosophy around sleep when it comes to me is not 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 hours. It's the question that you have to ask yourself every morning. Do I feel rested when I wake up? Or do I feel like I need more and more sleep, which means I'm sleep deprived? And then finally, it comes to everything that we're talking about, our emotional wellness. Now, I understand, yes, a lot of you tell me in your chats with me, in your chats with your nutritionist, but stress is real. Everyone has it. Yes, everyone has it. But what are you going to do about it? Drugs are also available freely for everyone to get. But do you do it? No, right? Everything may be there, but it doesn't mean that we have to become slaves to it. So the most stressful life also always has opportunity to make it better. The most stressful relationship also always has opportunity to get better or get out. The choice is always yours. It's a difficult choice. When you're trying to solve a problem, that's why they're called problems, because the solutions are not always easy. And you may find an easy solution, but it's difficult to implement. So the whole point is, in this journey with us and after us, you're going to have a whole life ahead of you without us. The things that we want you to learn is way beyond that email telling you what to eat, when to eat, and how to eat. That's also equally important. It's also looking at our attitude towards the condition we have, our attitude towards fat loss. So let me break it down. The things that I've learned over the last 2-3 months from our own clients, from our people, from coaching, from everything that's constantly happening in the medical world, in the world of research. A lot of people struggling with fat loss. Okay, I'm going to start off with fat loss. It's not because you're always eating the wrong diet. It's not because you're cheating a little bit on a dessert here and there. A lot of people look at their bodies with disgust. They look at their bodies as something that they hate on. They don't like the way they look. Okay, you want to lose fat. That's absolutely fine. You want to look good. That's absolutely fine. You want to look attractive. Absolutely fine. But we have to start doing this with ease, with grace, not with frustration, not from a space of desperation, not from a space of fear. And I'll tell you why. Because when you do it from a space of fear and frustration, and you're getting on the scale every morning and getting angry because the weight isn't budging, you're creating that sympathetic nervous system. You're creating that adrenaline and cortisol, which is going to push up your estrogen and your belly fat, lower your testosterone, lower your muscle mass, create a hormonal imbalance, which becomes your biggest obstacle towards losing weight or burning fat. So you have to create an environment for the fat loss to happen. Okay, there is no diet plan in the world that can just get you to lose weight. Otherwise, you would have found it before finding us, right? You would have found it. It doesn't exist. The world is still chasing that, because we're trying to teach you another way of looking at fat loss and another way of looking at disease. So even, let's move away from fat loss. Some of you have conditions. Some of you have ailments. Again, don't hate on your body. Don't look at your body with disgust. Don't look at your disease or your condition with disgust. It's already there. Now, if I want to give you a simple example, you look at something with disgust. What's the residual emotion that you create within yourself? Disgust. Is disgust a positive emotion? No, it's a negative emotion that comes with guilt. It comes with anger. It comes with self-negative talk. And all of that creates the environment, which is exactly the environment that you do not require, and which is detrimental to your recovery, your healing, your fat loss, your hair growth, the acne disappearing from your skin, your hormonal balance. So it's important for us to work together to create this environment. And we're going to talk about that as well. So number one is your attitude and your perspective towards the condition that you have or the weight that you're trying to lose. The more you obsess about something, the more elusive it gets. The more elusive it gets in all aspects of life, whether you're chasing a girl, a boy, when you were younger, you're chasing a goal. It always gets more elusive when you're chasing it with frustration. But this is what I want. What are the actions I need to take? And you take those actions with grace. You don't keep trying to chase the result. There's a beginning and there's an end. You have a goal with an expected result. In between that is a process. You just got to be committed to the process. You can't keep looking at the end result already once you found the goal. There's a process that every man, woman, and child has to take. There was a process for you to move from an infant to a young kid to a teenager and to an adult. There is always a process. And once you commit to that process can keep changing, along the way, according to your medication, your goal, what's working for you, what's not working for you, your likes, your dislikes. But you just got to keep your vision on the result that you want, but commit 100% to the process, which can change, like I said. So that's extremely important. Today, I'm going to base my talk on all my learnings, which I've noted down on our 4 verticals. Let's start off with nutrition. Okay. Number 1, stop comparing what you're eating with the world. Stop doing that. It's nice to learn new things. Like a couple of clients the other day said, hey, Luke, we're learning more and more about matcha tea. We're learning more and more about chamomile tea. Can we use this? And absolutely, yes, they can use it. So you see, It's not that what we give you is the only thing. You may come up and say, hey, Luke, I heard about a carrot juice and that can really help me with my liver. Do you think I can put this into my program as well? And the answer is going to be absolutely yes. It's not going to be no, because we didn't tell you to do it, don't do it. It's always, there's so much that we can add into a diet plan to make it beautiful, but there's only so much of appetite that everyone has and so much of time to cook and make preparations. So the idea is, when it comes to your diet, again, stop comparing yourself, your body, your condition with other people. You've come as a unique person, as a bio individual. Like I always give people an example. I have 100 patients with the same kind of cancer, the same cycle of chemo, the same cycle of radiation, the same treatment, but I have 100 different results. Why? When the symptoms are the same, the treatment is the same, why do I have 100 different results? Because these are 100 different unique individuals. Some of them may need more sleep. Some of them need less. Some of them need more vitamins. Some of them are fine with the current vitamins they have. Some people have too much inflammation in their body, so the treatment isn't effective. So you have to reduce inflammation. Some people have too much of stress, and so they eat the wrong foods and they can't be motivated to eat the right food. So you see, you're a unique individual when you come to us or you go to anyone. And that's why it has to be personalized around you, the foods that suit you. Someone with a leaky gut syndrome, they may love different foods, but we can't give it to you right now because we want your gut to heal so that you can go back to those favorite foods that you want, rather than eating them, going through the suffering, the stress, the inflammation, feeling bad about yourself, and then trying to recreate it again. So everything is step by step. There will be days that you fail. There are days that all of us fail. And it's absolutely okay as long as we get back on track the next day. So we want to continue with the focus of keeping your plate looking like a rainbow. Add in as many colors as you can, because that's the best way to build gut health. Give your gut bacteria diversity of micronutrients that come in with different foods. The second thing that we're learning, and you'll find that your coaches are now slowly putting them in your plans, are things like chamomile tea, things like green tea, things like matcha tea. Because, I can tell you to have 5 cups of green tea in a day, or I can tell you to have 1 cup of matcha tea, which is equivalent to 5 to 10 cups of green tea, and more antioxidants and more all of these things. A lot of us are that, yeah, but Luke, should we stay local? Yes, we can stay local. That's the preferred choice. But when you're looking at a condition which is not local, technically most diseases are global in nature. It doesn't require a local approach. Local works for some things. You have a cold, a cough, a fever, a viral, a skin issue. We try to eat local according to the climate, the temperature. It works for us. But we're no longer living in a local world. I mean, you have everything growing. A lot of kiwis grow in India right now. Avocados grow in India right now. So does that mean it's a local food? It's growing locally. It's a local food. But the idea is, don't get stressed with the small stuff. Okay, if I need a kiwi from New Zealand for a DNA repair protocol of a cancer patient going through radiation, I'm going to break my belief system of local and give the patient what is best for them. So we have to open up our mindsets and see food as food. Don't put yourself into boxes of extremes that, no, this isn't right, that isn't right. If it's right for you, it's right for you. If it doesn't suit you, it's a different thing. So make your plate grow like a rainbow. Of course, I don't want to eat blueberries that are sitting 2 months or 3 months in a ship coming from the United States to India sprayed with pesticides. I'd rather not do that. But then we'd rather explore the berries that are growing across Pune, North India, Himachal Pradesh, and use them in our diets. So of course, it is always quality over quantity, number one, and quality first. We want to make sure that we have quality. The other day I was in Mumbai and I got gifted a box of dragon fruit, which is one of the healthiest fruits when it comes to prostate health, estrogen levels, immunity. But I wasn't eating dragon fruit. I would enjoy it once in a way when you check into a hotel and you find it in your fruit bowl. And the guy who gave it to me was, Luke, it's growing on the outskirts of Pune. The temperature, the land, the soil is conducive for growing dragon fruit. So I got in touch with the farmer. I spoke to him. He said, yeah, we're growing it pesticide free. So guess what? We have dragon fruit. I have more food to use as medicine. And that's why we need to keep an open mind and not put ourselves in a box. Keep your rainbow diet. Number 2, the most common mistake I'm seeing people making is overeating. Okay, we got to be careful of that. Overeating. Once in a way, you want to have a dessert. Of course, our coach is going to say, go ahead and have it. But don't have 2 desserts. Have 1 dessert. Be happy with 1 dessert. Overeating is a big problem for you, hormonally, weight-wise, digestion-wise, acid-wise. So I would want to encourage everyone mindfully, keep that 15 to 20 minutes for your meal. Don't look at your phones. Don't put the TV on. Just 15 to 20 minutes, connect with your food. Eat mindfully. Eat slowly. Chew your food. I will guarantee you that your portion size will automatically decrease. And try to keep your meal timings at the same time. If lunch is at 12:30, keep lunch at 12:30. If dinner is at 7:30, keep it at 7:30. Of course, on the weekend, if you're going out, a little change here and there's absolutely fine. But try to eat according to your biorhythms. Okay, so matcha tea is something that we're really going big on. Black tea, don't get me wrong, black tea is equally healthy, but matcha tea has so many more health benefits that can help us at a holistic level. So I've actually switched my morning coffee, I love coffee, to a matcha tea. And I may have my coffee a little bit later, or I may just have the matcha tea. Because what I like about the matcha tea, it doesn't give me the caffeine kick. It's got caffeine in, but it's a slow build up for the next 4 to 5 hours. So it keeps me focused, keeps me feeling good, keeps me full. So these are new foods that you're going to find your coaches introducing into your diet along the way. You don't have to do it, but if it's recommended for a particular reason, like I encourage all of you, ask your coaches why you are having something. Don't just do it blindly. When the human mind knows why your coach has put in pineapple, or why your coach is giving you a concoction, when you know why it's happening, you tend to do it more easily without forgetting it. But it's like, oh, I have to do this. It's in Luke's diet plan. I have to have this AJS now. It becomes a task. But when you know, and if I can inspire you with why you have an AJS and how it's great for fat loss, digestion, it's for your gut health, then it's in your mind and you start to do it even without us having to remind you. So the beauty is understanding. Always ask your coaches, why am I doing this? Why can't I do this exercise? Get reasoning and get logic. That's why we are here with WhatsApp groups to educate you, not just to coach you, to educate you. So after your 3 months, you don't ever need us again. If you need us, we're always here. But you should have learned that lifestyle that works for you and you can take it on your own after that. So when it comes to nutrition, keep it simple. I have to caution you again still about white sugar, white flour. These are things that I'm not against it, but reduce it. Make an effort to reduce it. At least be off sugar and the whites Monday to Friday. Of course, people with cancer, you know my view on sugar. I would prefer for you to be off it completely. But work with your coaches for other sweeteners. You can still have raw honey. There are so many other beautiful things that you can have. So be careful to sugar. Again, carbohydrates. If you find yourself eating too many carbohydrates, again, don't go no carb, don't go low carb. But don't have too many carbs. Understand that. If you want most of your carbs, get it at lunchtime. But towards dinner time, you need more protein and more fat. You also need carbohydrate, but you need lesser of it. So we need to understand by cutting down carbs at a macro level, we are also cutting down inflammation, which is the root cause of most of the diseases that people have. So keep an eye on carbs. And remember, some people have carb-efficient bodies. You may have a body type that needs a lot of carbs and it's working for you. That is also okay. Let's move to, so nutrition. Start exploring herbal infusions. What I like about herbal infusions, and that's why we actually give it to a lot of people, because you get a lot of herbs and spices in that one bag. And hot water that you steep it in, it kind of removes the nutrients. So once you have the nutrients get into your system, it reaches your small intestine and directly absorbed into your blood. So sometimes these things are good, but don't take it with the notion that, oh, if I have green tea, my cancer will go. If I have green tea, I'll burn body fat. No, it is supportive. It is medically supportive today. Things like green tea, matcha tea, mustard, hing, all of these things that we're trying to put into your diet, they are medically supported to support cancers and Alzheimer's and diabetes and all of these things. But never get the notion that if I have this, my disease is going to go. It's multifactorial. It's not just nutrition. Let's move with exercise. What I'm observing with people with exercise right now, they're either undertraining or overtraining. We got to be careful of that. A lot of our clients who are doing really well, they have very simple exercise programs. One day they do yoga. They like an evening walk sometimes, at least once or twice a week. Some of them strength train. You don't have to go to a gym. You can have resistance bands. You can use your own body weight. Some people like Zumba. Mix it up, but don't forget flexibility and mobility. Very, very important. Because as we do more strenuous exercises, our muscles are going to get tighter and tighter. We have a lactic acid buildup, and that actually hampers our overall growth in the future and keeps inflammation high. The second thing, the third observation is some people are very motivated to work out, and that's a good thing. I respect that. But don't forget rest and recovery. Do not forget rest and recovery. And if you have an injury, it's okay to miss your workout. You would rather recover than have a relapse. So when it comes to exercise, consistency and discipline is number one. You missed your workout, you're feeling more demotivated. Ask yourself, can I at least do a 10-minute walk after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner, and accumulate 30 minutes? It was still good for me. Maybe it won't be great for my fat loss goal, but at least I worked out for my immune system, my heart, my lung, my liver, my kidney, my brain. So always try to create some amount of movement in your day. You may be the most busiest person, and that's okay. I respect that. But there is still scope for you to make 10, 20, 30 minutes for you. Find that space and make it work for you, because your nutrition without exercise is useless. Without blood circulation, no healing can happen. No fat loss can happen. No recovery can happen. So make that time. And of course, if you're in a wheelchair or bedridden, our coaches will guide you on what kind of exercises you can do. But keep it simple. Keep it simple. The best results are coming from the patients and clients that we see who are keeping it simple. They're not doing anything over strenuous. They're doing things like walks, yoga. Some of them have now started doing a little bit of push-ups and squats. Build your program, but don't become a slave to it. Okay, don't let your exercise program cause you more injury. Okay, cause you to eat the wrong foods because you're under eating but overtraining. So you may want to be careful of that. I advise people, if you can, wherever you are in the world, I can already see so many names on today's calls from different parts of the world. Spend time in nature. Nature is healing, not because Luke says it, because it is science. Okay, get up in the morning, stand on your balcony. If you can walk out in the garden, connect with morning light. This is so important to reset your melatonin levels. So important for you to reset your system, rebalance your biorhythms, your circadian rhythm. Even if it's 2 to 3 minutes, that's fine. That's why I encourage people to practice their yoga, their morning walk in open air if you can, subject to safety, COVID, and all of that stuff. But connect with nature before you get back into your work rooms or offices and stuff like that. Extremely important. Okay? Find an exercise or movement that works for you. Some days you wake up feeling lazy and you don't want to do anything. That's also okay. Now, at the same time, some of you may be really sick and you don't have the energy to work out. That is also okay. Do not feel bad. When the body is sick, sometimes it slows you down so that you don't work out and you don't exert yourself, because it needs rest, because all healing and recovery, lowering of inflammation, boosting of the immune system only happens in deep rest. So that is also okay. But then your mind starts battling with you. Luke, I'm the kind of person who needs to walk, needs to work out, but I can't sit at home and feel sick. Maybe you have to. 1 day, 2 days, a week, and then you get back much, much stronger. So also be okay with that. Understand, if you're not meant to exercise because the body needs rest, that is a medicine for you. Okay? It's not that if you miss your exercise program, you're going to get sicker and sicker. Listen to your body. That moves me to my third vertical. Coming back to exercise. It could be as simple as reaching your 10,000 steps if you can do that, if you're physically able to do that. Let's say you did 10,000 steps today and it's the end of your day and you find out I've not worked out and you're tired, but you get 10,000 steps. That's also okay. That means you were active. That's good enough for you. Tomorrow, try to make your 1 hour workout happen or your 45-minute workout happen. Now let's move to the third vertical, which is sleep. And I see this as a commonality amongst many of you. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Yes, it's difficult because our biorhythms have changed. We're sleeping at different timings. We're watching Netflix, entertainment, gadgets. So you all know the rules around better sleep. But I'm going to today teach you that one thing, how to retrain your body to sleep better. This is working fabulous for our insomniacs, for people who have had sleep problems over the years. Of course, there are the smaller things that your coaches keep telling you: put your gadgets off 1 hour before bed, have a bedtime ritual, pranayama, meditation, left nostril breathing. All of that is good as well. But today, I'm going to teach you, some of you have already learned it and have already come back with fantastic, results, how to retrain your sleep and retrain your body sleep cycle. So it's very simple. Select a wake-up time. Whether it's 5:30, 6, 6:37, it's up to you. Try to always keep it before sunrise, preferably if you can. Okay, select a wake-up time. And no matter what time you slept, you wake up at that time. Maybe you slept at 1 o'clock in the morning. Maybe you were rolling around on your bed. You got into bed at 10, but you slept only at 12 because your eyes were open. You tried everything. But when that alarm rings at that set time, which you've selected, let's say 6 o'clock, you will get up no matter how tired you are, and you will start your day. Yes, you'll feel tired. Yes, there'll be cravings. Yes, you'll be fatigued. You will want an afternoon nap, but don't take it. Okay? Get through the day. and get into bed at that same time, 10 o'clock or whatever, you may have the same problem again, or you may sleep a little bit better. Do this for a week to 10 days, no matter how tired you are. And automatically, most people start to see better results in 2 to 3 days. Some people even see it in the first or the second day. You'll find that you fall asleep faster and you start to wake up without an alarm. You've reset your sleep cycle. This is very powerful, and I advise you to do it. So maybe in between you've woken up and you've gone to the restroom twice or thrice. That's okay. Still, wake up at the same time. So now you start resetting your biorhythm, which is very, very powerful for you to reset your overall sleep cycle. So if you're still struggling with sleep, I would like you to try that, because I'll be honest with you. Chamomile tea doesn't always have to work. Poppy seeds concoctions doesn't always have to work. Left nostril breathing doesn't always have to work. Sometimes all we need to do, our system is so out of rhythm that we need to put it back into rhythm. And resetting is one of the best ways to do. I will also move on to the next vertical, but without forgetting to stress on the importance of sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. There can be no recovery. There can be no fat loss happening if you are sleep deprived. So I say this not to scare you. I say it to inspire you to give, if not more importance to your sleep than anything else. And it is possible. Most people who sleep well say, Luke, I feel so awesome in the morning. I feel motivated. I feel inspired. I feel better already. And that's what sleep does to you. It's not just at a medical level or a scientific level. It's at a level of feeling good about yourself. So sleep is something that I would like you all to work around. Yes, life comes in the way many times. That's okay, which is why I get into the discipline of at least Sunday night to Friday. Try to get your sleep right. Enjoy your weekend. That's also absolutely fine to aim for balance. That brings me to the fourth vertical, which is emotional wellness. A lot of us are struggling with emotions. A lot of you who have come to us with consults or on programs have deeply rooted emotions ranging from resentment to guilt to anger to jealousy to loss of loved ones to betrayal to heartache to sometimes just simple anxiety. Sometimes you're just a perfectionist and you're trying to be in control of everything. How do we break it down? There is no magic meditation. You can chant all day and still have your problems. The change has to come from within by you deciding that enough is enough. But by you deciding and accepting the fact that this emotion has troubled me too long, now I'm making a decision to release it. We always have to start by making decisions. A lot of tools sound great. Like right now, I can put you through a 5-minute meditation and you are going to feel great, obviously, because I've just moved you from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system, which means you are going to feel good. But what happens when the meditation ends? What happens in the next 10 minutes when you get back into the reality of living your life? So these are great tools that help us look inwards, but we still have to do the work. We have to decide and commit to ourselves that that's it. I accept now that the disease has happened. Why me? I'm over that. I'm in acceptance mode. Denial mode is natural. But from denial mode, we need to move into acceptance mode. Because only with acceptance mode can we take the right action. Can we now accept that, fine, there's a problem. And now, how can I inspire myself to fight this, embrace it, kick it out of my system? For that, I need to take action. It's never going to happen when I'm a victim. It's never going to happen when I'm stuck in denial phase. To get any result requires action. Now, what are those actions that you need to take? That is where we come in. That's where your doctors come in. That's where all the people who are helping you with your condition come in. But your work is to decide enough is enough. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of this disease reoccurring. I'm tired of my immune system attacking me all the time. I've decided now to take the right action. But when I'm constantly stuck in comparing myself, oh, my friend recovered faster. My friend lost weight faster. You're only creating more misery in your life. It's like comparing apples and oranges. Your friend and you are completely different. The story of the survivor that you found on the internet has a completely different life from you. Doesn't mean you can't be a survivor. Just don't compare yourself to the extent that you feel miserable about yourself and you feel inadequate and your self-esteem and your self-confidence drops because you need your self-esteem and self-confidence as part of your prescription to get better. Extremely important. So what helps us? Reflection. At any given point in our life, today, I think I can say with conviction, everything that's happening in our life, okay, is a consequence of something that we've done, an action that we've taken or not taken, a behavior pattern that we followed or we haven't. Things just don't happen. I probably have 1.1% of all my cases in the world where those cases keep me awake at night sometimes, like because you can't find a single clue, not even a strong gene that has caused the problem. And we think about that. That's 0.1, 0.1. Stuff happens. Life can't explain. Life can't explain why, a baby with innocence is born and the next day has a brain tumor and dies 3 days later. We can't. There are mysteries in life. And we can't allow those mysteries in life rob us of faith and belief that, because there's no certainty or it's in the dark side. That's why we leave mysteries of life in the dark side. You can't see it. You can't understand it. Leave it. Don't let it rob you of faith, belief, and stress and add stress to your life. But look at everything else that's going well. So we need to understand that there are certain actions. A lot of clients come to me and say, Luke, I'm suffering. I deserve it. It's my karma. Don't look at karma that way. A lot of people have very, very low and poor knowledge about what karma is. So someone says, oh, I did this when I was small and I was wrong. I bullied that person and today I'm suffering. No, you need to understand that karma, when karma is explained or karma is spoken about, one of the biggest points missed out in the explanation of karma is intention. Then everyone should be suffering today because as kids, which kid hasn't done something which is wrong? Which kid, okay, there could be a couple of kids, has not been rude at some time or bullied or manipulated? Which teenager hasn't done that? How many of you out there haven't robbed a little bit of money from your mom's purse or your dad's purse or something like that? No, go back and reflect on all the things. And if karma was the way you think it to be, all of us should be suffering for that, but we don't, because the missing word is intention. Everything is intention. You can wake up with an intention to pull down someone evilly, manipulatively, rob someone for your own gain, and that intention is wrong, and that is your karma that will hurt you and hurt all of us. But intention is everything. Sometimes we do something, it becomes a failure and mistake, but you set onto it with the right intention, but it didn't work out. Is that going to be a bad karma for you in your life? No. Another karma is you wanting forgiveness, but not able to forgive other people. So that karma will continue as a negative circle. You can't ask life for something, but you're not willing to give that back to someone else. So that's why we encourage people to forgive, and they say, Luke, they get angry with me. You're not in my place. You don't know the heartache I've gone through. How can I forgive? Like, I understand your pain. Maybe I don't understand your pain. It's your pain. I'm not taking away from it. But I ask them, how many times in your life have you been forgiven? And they say, hey, my mom forgave me, my dad, my teacher. What stops you from forgiving someone else? If you've been given a gift of forgiveness, you got to give that gift back. You can't be selfish, and that's when negative karmas happen. Today, you can get angry with someone, say the rudest words and rudest things to them, but your ego and pride is too high for you to go and apologize and ask for forgiveness. Bad karma. But you made a mistake. You're human. You got angry, but you also apologized. You also changed the energy by lowering your pride and your ego. That karma is not going to come back and haunt you. When you look at regression, when you go deeply into past life regression, you will find out patterns that exist. And those patterns continue unless you change them. You keep strengthening the wrong patterns, they become your very existence. A lot of people don't know how they are. A lot of people don't know that their own suffering is their own thought process. And if you only change your thought process and your belief system, your suffering also changes. So you see, it's way beyond meditation. Yes, you must meditate to find that inner peace and that clarity so that you can see and make sense of what I'm telling you. So today, when we look at breast cancer patients, which I can document it, and it will be a white paper one day, that there is a deeply rooted emotional stress, trauma at a child level, at an adult level, at a current level, in most of our ER-positive breast cancer patients. In my male prostate cancer patients, there is this irritability, this anger held on, the want to always be right, male stubbornness, the want to feel in control all the time. These are emotions. We know today scientifically that every emotion has its connection with a disease. I'm not going to say it's the cause of your disease, but it's played a role in your disease. Every disease is multifactorial. No one can say, I ate sugar and got diabetes. No, you ate sugar and you had sleep deprivation and you had inflammation and you didn't eat on time and you overate, and that's why you had diabetes. It's not just sugar alone. Likewise with cancer and everything else. It's all multifactorial. So you can't look back and say, Luke, I I created this trauma in this child's life when I was a teacher and all of that, and that's why today I'm suffering. I've got cancer and I've accepted it, and God is punishing me. No. Get out of that. To kick yourself out of that victim mode. That isn't the reason. That may be part of a larger reason, but it isn't. And that's blinding you from actually looking at other causes and other changes that you need to make. So if it's also easy for us to say, oh, I'm being punished, my cancer is a punishment, then that limits us with the possibilities and the actions of what we should do. It could be a part of it. Maybe your emotional stress has caused a low immune system and too much of inflammation that has led to an estrogen increase and led that fibroid or cyst now become cancerous. Massive possibility. But there is so much of action that you can take when you don't blind yourself with these little things. It is true that family suffering happens. Sometimes people are, Luke, why is there so much of suffering in my family? My son isn't getting a job. My daughter isn't finding a husband. I'm suffering. My husband's got cancer. Human suffering, again, what I've learned from it, we need to look at what loose ends we have in life. What loose ends we have. You are here fighting for peace in your family, but you are fighting with your own brothers and sisters over property and something else. Now you look at the energies that are being created, and every disease is an energy, every drug is an energy, every healing is an energy. We create energies that are not conducive for us to heal with it. So yes, sometimes you have to go and ask for forgiveness. Sometimes you got to go out there and forgive someone. You have to go out there and make up with someone that's still breeding a relationship of negativity with you. Sometimes you may have to get out of a toxic relationship. Sometimes a toxic relationship is assigned to you that, listen, change, and the toxicity is going to be removed. Okay, it's as simple as that. If you're clogging a drain by pouring toxins into it all the time, you can't keep changing the drain and keep changing the environment. You stop pouring toxins into the drain and you don't have a toxic drain anymore. Some people can change, some people can't. You have your reasons. Everyone has their reasons. Everyone has their reasons. But my point is, we have to explore this and accept it in our healing. A lot of you want quick results and instant gratification, and no, if I eat this, I want this result. I'm telling you right now, it's in our terms and conditions as well, but I'm telling you right now, we can never give that to you. You got to make it work for you. There is no magic food, magic 7 hours of sleep or anything like that. You put it all together and create a conducive environment, and I can guarantee you, most of you, if not all of you, are going to start seeing progress. When you're constantly chasing it, fast, with desperation, with frustration, you're creating an environment where nothing can work for you. Nothing can work for you. So your overall healing, and these are the things that I'm constantly seeing in our patients, our clients, and new people who are coming to us, these are gaps that have to be filled. Yes, your team will continue to coach you, give you the best foods, work with you. Sometimes you always won't get your result. Like I have a couple of cancer patients who obviously the goal is to get into remission and stay into remission. Some of them are. Some of them, they go through cancer 4 to 5 times before they finally get into remission and live 15 to 20 years of their life. That also happens. Nothing can be guaranteed. It's the human body. It's the intelligence. It's the changes that we got to make, the belief system that we have. So if your cancer comes back the second time, of course you're disappointed and disappointed. We're all heartbroken. But then we got to pick ourselves back up and again, aim to get in remission again. So we never give up. Like in any aspect of your life, you tell your kids don't give up. We got to tell ourselves not to give up as well. Nutrition is not complicated. Yes, I want to end off the session by telling all of you, work closely with your coaches. They're there to help you. They have years and years and hours of experience. The easiest thing to put together is a diet plan. Okay, but the most important thing is to coach yourself around that framework of food on everything else. So have great relationships with your coaches. Ask questions. Ask many questions. Okay, if you're anxious, your coaches will try to work with you to reduce that anxiety so that the food can work better, so that your exercise can better, so that your medication can work better. Do you know that today there's medical research that if you're taking chemotherapy or radiation under a lot of stress, the efficacy is reduced. So if you've decided to take that chemotherapy, everyone in your family is, you go in and you take that chemotherapy like it's the best thing in the world. Yes, our conscious mind knows side effects. It's not the best thing in the world, but you tell your mind it's going to be the best thing in the world for you. You change your attitude towards it because you've already decided to take it. No one's forced you to. Go and take it like it's the best thing in the world. You lie to that subconscious mind and you tell your subconscious mind that this chemotherapy is going to grow my hair, kill my cancer, rejuvenate me, boost up my heart health. You lie. You lie as much as you can to your subconscious mind to create the truth and the outcome that you want. And I will say this over and over again. It is the placebo effect. Everyone has a placebo within them. We create placebos ourselves to feel better. Okay, someone said something to you. Yeah, maybe he didn't mean it. Maybe he didn't mean it. Why are you saying that? Because you want to feel better. You want to feel better. So you try to create an effect that makes you feel better, even though you know that that person said something rude to you. So use the effect of a placebo powerfully in all, whether you've come to us with something as simple as hair fall or something as, deadly, not deadly, as complicated as a cancer or scary as an Alzheimer's. Healing is the same mechanism. Never forget, no one is healing you, not your doctors, not my coaches, not myself. We can put you in the right direction, enable you, but finally only the intelligence in your body can heal you. Only the intelligence in your body can heal you. There is no steroid, no chemotherapy, no superfood, no 8 hours of sleep that is healing you. It is the platform that we're giving to your body in the hope that the intelligence that failed and got you sick can now come back and change that. And that's the belief that you need to have. Work on your relationships. Work on having love in your life. Even if you don't, build a dream to manifest it. Learn mindfulness. I hope by now all of you have been part of our mindfulness groups. If not, please work with your coaches and get into our mindfulness group. It's part of all of this stuff. Because I can tell you right now, the most powerful tool is mindfulness. If I'm mindful right now, okay, I can choose a dandelion tea over a Coca-Cola. Example. If I'm mindful today to know that I don't feel like working out, but okay, I'm just feeling a little low, go have a coffee and then give me 30 minutes of a workout. If I'm mindful enough to know about the people that are draining me of energy, I start to slowly distance myself. If I'm mindful enough to know that I wake up tired every morning and I feel like crap, I'll start to sleep better. Mindfulness is your number one tool in life for every aspect of your life, whether it's health, relationship. Mindfully, someone shouting at you, your partner shouting at you. From a mindful space, you realize that when I got into a relationship, he was a hot-tempered guy. So what am I doing right now? Let me analyze this. Let me communicate a little bit more. Let me ask for change instead of retaliating with anger. We can do this from mindfulness. It's impossible to do it when we're chaotic, we're depressed, we're sad, we're anxious, we're stressed, we're moving too fast in life. So I would encourage all of you now, your journey with us and in the future, mindfulness is your most valuable tool because you already know what is right and wrong for you. You see, a lot of us are trying to control uncertainty. Of course, we don't know how your sixth cycle of chemo is going to be. We don't know how you're going to do on the first week of your food plan with us. So uncertainty puts fear in us. But I want you to move from uncertainty to faith and belief that we're working on this as a team. It's a team that's working towards you getting better, and you are part of that team. So faith and belief, resistance. If you strongly feel that, hey, Luke, I don't think this is going to work for me. It's never worked, whatever. We may try to make you see it a different way, but if you have that strong resistance, guess what? We're not going to make you do it. Why will we make you do something that you resist? It's never going to work for you. Like you're taking a drug that you don't believe in, it's never going to work for you. You're taking a chemo that you believe is going to destroy your health, it's going to destroy your health. As simple as that. So when it comes to holistic health and living, all of us have problems right now. Break it down. Be patient with yourself. There are no quick fixes. If there were quick fixes, you wouldn't be with us. You wouldn't be sick. You wouldn't have weight problems if there was a quick fix that worked, right? So remember, ask yourself always. Sometimes it's better to slow down, change your lifestyle. The results may be a little slower, but they'll be more sustainable. They'll last for a longer time and they won't damage you with the process of quick fixes that always create some side effect. Make these changes. You have one life, one finite life. Live it meaningfully. Some things in life, like look around you, nature, it's your best example. It is slow, no matter how rich you are, who you are, what designation you are. You cannot make that flower, that bud turn into a flower unless nature decides it's time for it. It's the same with you. You can wish the weight off you. You can wish the cancer out of your body. You can wish the diabetes out of your body. You can intend for it, but you still got to allow nature to take its own course. And that's why integrating the power of nature with what we do is so important. And for you to embrace that. Can you, no matter what you do, can you get your young kid to become a teenager when you want them to? No. They have to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. You can't change that process. That's the beauty of nature. That's the beauty of nature. But today, we're trying to move everything too quickly because I need the result right now. No, absolutely not. Today, we have oncologists over the world, all over the world, who are actually telling patients, yeah, you come to us with a cancer. You probably will need chemo, but let's start a little slow. Come back after a month. Let's see if it's grown further. Of course, these are case to case. If it's a metastatic, you take action immediately. Sometimes it's a stage 0. You see, even medicine is changing and allowing for time. Listen, let's not get so reactive. Take it easy. You may not need chemo right now. Go, change this, do this, take this medication. Come back after a month. Slow down. You get results that sustain and you'll feel happier in the long run. So I hope these little points helped you to get you back on track or to continue the fabulous work that you're doing. Work with our team. We're here to also teach you, not just coach you. We want to answer every question of yours so that when you're on your own, you know what to do, when to do it, what's good for you and what's not. And that is the power of lifestyle. We never give up. Can we guarantee anything? No, no one is God to guarantee anything. But what we can do is put all of that energy into creating extraordinary lifestyles. We're struggling with something. It's okay. Fine. What can I do better? Fine. I'm finding it difficult to give up sugar. What can I do better? Let's not just be stuck on the sugar part. What can I do better? And then as you start doing something and you start feeling better about yourself, you suddenly find that, hey, I'm reducing my sugar without having to try too hard. Be patient with yourself. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Whoever's missed the session, it will be recorded and shared to you. I hope all of you are doing well on your programs. Take one day at a time. No matter what, it is only one day at a time because that is what is in control. We have no control over yesterday. We have no control over tomorrow. But what we do today can't promise a better tomorrow. There are going to be ups and downs like in every aspect of your life. Some days you feel great on the program. Some days you may not. And that's okay. That is part of life. Accept it. I think when we live life with acceptance and that what's happening right now is happening for a particular reason that we may not understand, we may not like. But when we live with that whole thing, that it is happening for a reason, it gives us strength to go through the downs and the struggles as well. Have a great day, everyone. If you have any questions, please put them out to your coaches. And if there are any questions for me, I'm sure the team will direct them to me. Have a great weekend, everyone.